Welcome to the Earth is Ghetto podcast. I took a little break, but guess what? This was only a little one. Mm-hmm. All right? Because bitches have remained consistent. We are said bitches.
Yes.
Okay.
You should be proud of us.
You really should. Like, I honestly am just going to automatically imagine your hand patting my shoulder because that's what I deserve.
Yeah.
Is a pat on the back. You know what? Thank you. All right? So we will get just directly into the madness, because that's what's happening right now. Madness. Oh, shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Shout out to the whole cast of Sinners. Y'all did amazingly. I don't understand how one battle after another won the best picture, because that's for another video.
Never even heard of that movie.
Oh yeah. Listen, I saw the synopsis and I was just like, I don't want to watch this. So. And for those that did watch it, people who I respect who have watched it were just like, oh, this is booty wind. I said, you know what? I believe you. So that was really just it. So let's get into our mental health check-in. Aaron, how are you feeling?
I feel really good. I'm not going to lie. Better than I have known quite a while. I am proud of myself. I meditate every morning. And I can send you the link. It's a YouTube video.
I love it.
I put my earphones in and just, it makes me feel so good. It regulates my nervous system. It helps me start the day. It gives me tips, like, as I'm meditating, to like, hey, at the end of the day, you can focus on your breathing, focus on yourself, focus on the present.
Yeah.
Because the problem that I've been going through is letting my thoughts have control of who I am. I started to lose myself at one point. I was so in my head and overthinking all the time. Yeah. And it bothered me because I didn't have control of the future. I wanted to have control, and that's why I wanted to keep overthinking. Because if I'm not overthinking, I felt like I wasn't in control. And that had an effect on my hobbies, things that I was passionate about. I noticed I wasn't singing, I was getting more sad, and yeah, I was just fucking miserable. And then I noticed that it affected my, kind of like my physical health too. I was getting more sick because it's just, yeah, I just felt myself shutting down. So, and therapy as well, still in therapy. It got to a point where I was just like, I have to do all these things because I have nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm on the brink. I was on the brink.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, yeah, my mental health is good. Despite all the fuckery, like I say all the time, my mental health is good right now.
So, I want to say I'm much better than I was before. I can't say good, but I can say that I'm much better than I was before. I am, back in therapy. That has been helpful. I realize that I am a perfectionist. So because I am somewhat of a perfectionist, there are certain things I won't even attempt. I truly feel arrested because I know it's not going to be exactly what I want. And that is immature, to say the least. If it's not perfect, no one can have it. And I am trying really hard to just start putting out content and not being so particular about all of the odds and ends and things like that that are going on, because all of that's going to come. The most important part is putting out the content. So I've been just, slightly wrestling with that, but I think I'm better. I'm definitely better, for sure. So, because before, the last couple of mental checks, they were like, it's terrible, friend. And you're like, oh, shit. So, so I can honestly say this is for sure an improvement. Hands down. All right. Let's get into the stupidity.
Yes.
All right. So first things first, we're just going to watch a little video and we're going to talk about it. Because, yeah, let's do that.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
Honestly, it's like that's why I don't really go to gay clubs. I don't go to gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. It's like, these are not my men in terms of attraction. Now, if I'm just going to have a kiki, sure. But like these are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
So, it comes to men, has it always been, well, some people consider the straight guy always being the one that would approach you?
Or somebody who, has been intimate and dating, women for most of their life or like up until then. For sure. Now it's like even more so. Now that I definitely present in more of a feminine way. Because also like, it's like my energy is that. Like even when I was a kid and like they were like, well, you can't wear skirts. And I was like, well, why not? It's like my inner being was like, there's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem? I'm out all the time, and like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So, yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
I don't.
So, before we start discussing this, I want to lay down some ground rules. Okay? For anybody who's listening, I need you to know what we are not. We are not transphobic. We are not homophobic. Just because this nigga said, because apparently I saw so many women up in arms, just because this nigga said, oh, well, I look better in the skirt than any other girl does. This wasn't, I don't know why you took this as a specific affront to yourself. I don't know why you thought, how dare this gangly man? Like you gotta calm the fuck down, first and foremost. And honestly, at this point, I believe that EJ is like non-binary. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna go with they,
yeah, I
right?
They too.
Yeah, because
some folks saying, "Oh, they still."
It's easier just to be like they, right? Okay, that's first off. Secondly, what we're not going to do is we are not going to pretend that some of what EJ said didn't have some validity, right? Now, it came in stupid person packaging. I get it, but I understand where they're coming from, especially after talking to Aaron. So tell me what you think, about that whole process.
Yeah, because there's so much nuance in this conversation. We're not going to pretend like the gay community is not extremely femophobic. So that's why, like Sid was saying, we know what EJ was saying, but unfortunately on the other side, it's just still centering around straightness. But we're also not going to pretend like, girl, there are not masculine gay men who are not attracted to femboys or femininity or whatever.
And
it's hard to find, but they're there. And my thing is, just because they're hard to find, that's like me saying, oh, how can I say it? Whatever.
I'll put it like this. A lot of men are gynosexual,
mm-hmm.
right? Which just means being attracted to femininity, mm-hmm. Period. No matter what that packaging comes in, they're just attracted to femininity. I'll be honest with you. The way that some black women were going on, like, oh, he could never get a straight man, or they could never do this, or they could never do that. No, my love, I'm telling you right now,
okay.
There are plenty of straight men that are willing to climb that fucking tree. I need you to be quite honest with you. Let's be for real. Now, you may not want to admit that, but that's because of your own insecurities. Now, on the flip side, EJ, my love, come closer. Baby, I don't think that you got to represent all of us, right? But when you say there's nothing for you in gay rooms, and the gayness meter is over 100 over there. Okay, it's over 100 over there. And you're saying your gay ass, that there's nothing for your gay ass in gay rooms, but the streets have something for you. I personally take fucking offense. I'm sorry.
Because baby, these gay rooms, the possibilities are endless. Okay,
bro. Listen, there are some rooms I'm not even allowed into, and the bitch is jealous. Are you serious? Are you serious? Now, also another thing about EJ, I feel like when EJ is talking about straight men, I think that they're talking about straight white men. I think that is what they are going after.
And we also have to bring up the fact that EJ has money. So class has a thing to do with this as well.
And I don't want people to go out and warp that and be like, oh, the only reason that men go after EJ is just because they have money. They also go after EJ because they are attracted to EJ.
Because, yes, I'm just saying also, everyday
Class.
femboys who don't have the kind of money that EJ has are not getting approached to. Because if you're feminine, that's already like, oh my God, and you ain't got money like that, you ain't got EJ money, something I can mooch off of or something like that.
Let's be, and also let's not pretend that people, when it comes to class, they only want to hang out with people who got what they got. That's the truth. They are not trying to hang out with the maid or the waitress. Like that's just what it is. That's life, bro. I'm sorry. So I think there's a lot of things to discuss, but I'm really tired of the way that people are discussing it, because straight people don't have any nuance. The only nuance that they can see is within themselves. When it comes to everything else, it's very, very, very black and white. And as a person who dates men who may fuck other men, right, occasionally, I cannot tell you how many straight women have come to me like, aren't you afraid of diseases? I'm like, baby, when you meet somebody, y'all don't get tested?
I ain't got nothing to worry about. My man ain't gonna do nothing like that.
No, I'm sorry. No, because that feels like oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
The stove's not hot. Don't tell me what. You don't know me.
I'm not cis. Like, girl. Like, they're like, I'm not cis. I'm a woman, and I'd be like, okay, I'm not an ocean.
I'm not a black woman. I'm just a woman.
Right, bro. Like, listen, I'm not an ocean. I'm just a large body of water. You're like, okay, my love, you're not. This isn't.
So annoying.
I don't know how to make this better for you. And I wanted to be able to talk about this respectfully because this is my community. But the reason why EJ is not in my community is because of class. But as far as under the umbrella of, of being under the rainbow, the fucking Skittles that we are, right? I need people to understand that I understand where EJ is coming from, even though we know he's flat out wrong. Mm-hmm. We can understand where he's coming from and also say, that is bullshit. Mm-hmm. I understand where you're coming from, but that doesn't make it less bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's really what it is. And that is the walking and chewing gum.
Yeah, and that's so hard for a lot of y'all to do for some reason.
And I don't have to be transphobic. I didn't hear that and be like, he thinks he looks better than me. Like, baby. Okay. No, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. And I think that that's a really important conversation to have, only because I know there's not a lot of straight people who listen to our podcast. Right. But for those for straights who do listen to our podcast, I need you to understand there is way more nuance in a lot of the things that we talk about that even some gay people are not armed to have that conversation. I need you to understand there are gay people that do not understand what we are talking about, who we would have to still baby step them into it. So I need you to speak less and just listen.
Especially cis gay men. Especially cis gay white men.
I didn't really want to mention that, but yes. No, I'm sorry. No, but is there anything else that you want to add?
That's pretty much it for that.
Okay.
For me. It's okay to walk and chew gum. Two things can be true.
So we are going to go ahead and now play the next video for you guys. Oh, this is a good one. You did good, friend. I saw this earlier.
Oh, you did, period.
It's airports. TSA workers are still not getting paid. You are still not getting paid. About 50,000. So, update on the TSA crisis that continues to plague the United States airports. TSA workers are still not getting paid. You are still not getting paid. About 50,000 TSA workers will still be working unpaid. And the worst part about it is that there was a deal that was actually presented to the Senate today that got shot down by Donald Trump himself, stating that he is not making any deals with the Democrats. You have Senator Kennedy, a Republican senator, that stated that had he allowed this, you guys could have gotten paid by the end of the week. He said no. MAGA put Trump in power, and Trump is using that power to tell you no, that you do not deserve to get your paycheck. So let's go back to the beginning, okay? So it started yesterday where senators actually had considered a deal where they would fund Homeland Security but not fund ICE, not fund ICE enforcement. Now, the information that I'm going to be reading out to you is coming from the article on AP News. It reads right here that senators raced Tuesday to cinch in a merging proposal to end the Homeland Security shutdown by funding much of the department, including the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, airport workers going without pay. But it excluded ICE enforcement operations, which have been at the core of the dispute. Now, you already know that the Republicans is all about defending ICE, right? Saving ICE, funding ICE, all of that BS, right? So they're like, wait a minute, hold up. The Democrats are actually agreeing to open up everything except ICE. So how about we accept that deal, right? But then we propose a bill that states that they have to relinquish, any say about what goes on with ICE, meaning that the Republicans would be able to do whatever they wanted to do and just vote amongst themselves for, what's going on with ICE. Both sides had actually agreed to it. Trump said, no, we're not making any deals with the Democrats. We're not doing anything with the Democrats. Listen to Senator Kennedy state it himself.
Senator Cruz and I came up with a plan. We said, look, it's a two-step process. The Democrats have offered to open up everything but ICE. Ted and I said, okay, let's accept their offer. And then at the same time, we would offer a bill for reconciliation where we don't need any Democratic votes to do whatever we wanted to do with ICE. And that way we're out of the shutdown and DHS is back open. We submitted that, Senator Cthulhu submitted that to President Trump, as is his right. He said no deals with the Democrats. It would have worked. We could have had TSA paid by the end of the week, but the president said no deal.
Donald Trump, the president of the United States, put into power by 77. So update on the TSA.
Goddamn.
Her face after he said that, she's good.
Bro,
Because what?
So,
What?
I'll let you go first.
And it's just, again, not surprising, but also fucking terrifying. And also, what doesn't make it any better is knowing that Democrats still wanted to reform ICE and not abolish them. They just want, and give them body cameras. So it's like, that's all I have to say about that. I don't even know what to say.
Okay, so when it comes to the TSA shutdown, right? As a person who just recently had to go take a flight, I had to go see my mummykins, my mumsel. I love her. And I'm not gonna lie, thankfully I did not see ICE at these airports. It was the next day that I saw videos coming from DIA and from Hartsfield, where ICE was basically, do you know that these workers actually take almost a month, sometimes 2 months, 3 months of training to be able to learn to do what they do? And these guys are basically being taught on the spot. They're being, you know how crazy it is to train somebody to take your job? They getting paid $60 an hour and you getting paid nothing?
Yeah, and if they want to, they can just take your life in broad daylight.
So there is a TV show, you haven't seen it, it's called Pitt. And it is a kind of like the ER of the new century. And if you're old like me, you know what ER used to be. Hey, Eric LaSalle, it's fine. And but like there is an episode where ICE comes in and starts throwing down people on the floor, throwing nurses down on the floor. And I did not realize how this show had a lot of Republican viewers. they were up in arms. They were so upset. They were like, that's not what ICE does. And I'm just like, they're like, I don't want propaganda and politics on my TV. And you're just like,
Who's gonna tell her?
and what I will say, I'm just gonna go directly into the black woman. She looked very young. She didn't look more than 21 years old, right? And she had an ICE uniform, and her picture went fucking viral. And then we were seeing tweets like, so it's protect black women until they're ICE agents, police, or the military. And I said, yes. This is not a safe space for you. Unless you are now there is a lot of respect that I have for military people who got brainwashed, did what they did, came back and said, no, I will not allow anybody else to be brainwashed in the same way I was brainwashed. Yeah. That is not who I'm talking about. The people who are still sucking the dick of white supremacy and Western imperialism, that's who I'm talking to. I remember when there was that guy who I was talking to who was so cute. Oh my God, sometimes you military can be fine though. So it's so sad. Oh my God, why are you so goddamn fine? Anyway, so there was this military guy I was talking to. We started on TikTok. I really was enjoying the conversation, blah, blah, blah. This man tells me he's in the military. I'm like, ugh, right? And then he tells me that he is stationed in Yemen.
What are you doing over there?
Where he takes out insurgents. When I hear insurgents, when I hear insurgents, I see a nigga in khaki pants with a gun. So you're just killing random people that you've invaded. Yeah. You've invaded.
You are boots on the ground colonizer.
And then when I told him I could no longer talk to him because, like, I only want to talk to people who are actually trying to, like, tear down this system, he was like, I'm doing what I have to survive. Let me tell you something. I have been unemployed for 1.5 years. In 4 months, it will be 2 years. You don't think that I would like $60 an hour? But my soul is not for sale.
2 years, damn.
And what's worse is a nigga works hard. I am constantly applying. Remember when I was trying to go to this school, that school? What I can do to make money? Let me go ahead and gain a new skill. Let me study. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me tell you something. I am a hard fucking worker. A bitch is intelligent. I can, and with regardless of any ADHD. Oh hush. But no, but somebody who has got severe ADHD, I was able to go ahead and as an HR assistant and talent manager, I was able to go ahead and handle several different regions, and make sure I kept up with everything. Was it a struggle? Yes, nigga, but I still did it and did it well. To the point when I was filing for unemployment, them niggas was like, that was one of the best workers we ever had. Bitch, why didn't you pay me?
Tried to get her, they wanted her back as soon as they were like, oh my God. So, bitch, they knew. They always know.
I'm letting you know that I know how hard it is out here. And I still refuse to sell my soul. You sold yours. And I only want to talk to people, because let me tell you something. I would rather that girl be twerking on a pole than doing what she's doing right now, because at least she has more dignity on that goddamn pole than she ever will in that fucking uniform. And no one's ever going to tell me different. Because you sell your body, but you're not getting parts back. You're not guaranteed your full body when you come back. all of a sudden your dick sound like a chalk rubbing together. Let me tell you something. You sold your body like it was on an auction.
And the VA don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, they don't give a fuck about y'all when y'all come back.
Because we can't even talk about the portion of homeless that is actually ex-military.
This empire that you're trying to defend doesn't give a fuck about you once you sold your soul and come back. You tried to defend this empire. You slaughtered all types of people across seas.
This is why...
Stole their resources for the name so that you can make that, so that you're good. Because individualism, that's how it works.
And in the 40s, I remember, like, when I started reading about it, right? And they would, and Germany, the German planes would drop these little leaflets down on the black soldiers. Because remember, they were still segregated. They weren't walking with the white soldiers. Anyway, so they're dropping down these leaflets. And the leaflets literally say, come and fight for Germany. You can't even sit next to your brethren in a restaurant. Do you think Germany at that point liked black people? But everything they were saying was true.
Yep.
You're fighting for a country that would never fight for you. You will go back home and you will still be dealing with Jim Crow laws. You know how crazy that fucking shit sounds?
So it's like, what does that say about the system that y'all be trying to defend when we say it needs to be torn down? Because, oh, it's the land of the free, but you have to literally get an arm and a leg to get 1/8 of freedom. You get like a
arms, legs, eyes, teeth,
like,
tongues.
What does that say about this system, this American dream?
The American dream is a nightmare that no one wants to admit to, and I think that's where the real problem lies.
And you have to be asleep to believe it.
You do.
That's why they call it a dream.
No, but facts. Like, honestly. And I feel like one of the things that I really have to pay attention to is like, listen, we're losing this war. We are not going to win this. I want to make that super clear. Iran got us by the balls. They have pierced the gooch and they just keep on pulling it. We are, listen, slinging us around like a rag doll by the goddamn gooch.
Okay.
Like, that's really what's happening.
Damn.
Oh,
But
okay.
But
So,
that is what's happening.
and right now, there are rumors, just rumors. We can't get excited. We can't go ahead and pop bottles, right? But there are rumors that Benjamin Netanyahu is no longer on this side of the soil. There are rumors that that Iran is beating our ass. And let me tell you something. I really want you to understand something about the language that people use when they talk about this war, especially on the news, which is it's all geared towards some bullshit. You know what I mean? We always talk about, oh, Fox News, this, and CNN. They're all on the same side. Baby, I'm sorry. So, like, even when they say things like, America executed a strike, right? We didn't say we bombed people. We executed a strike. Doesn't that make it sound so clean?
Yep, less massive.
Doesn't it sound like precision? You feel me? It sounds like we're like I just finished surgery.
Yep.
Right? It was we executed a strike. We don't call them people in khakis with weapons. We call them insurgents. So when we kill them, we don't have to tell you that we killed men, women, and children. Or 51 girls in a fucking school. Iran is beating our ass, and let me tell you something. We don't give a fuck about how many people we kill over there. Black people, I love us. I need us to stop making videos about, hey, Iran, don't hit me. Spend your time building community and maybe an underground bunker. But that, because we didn't give a fuck about. No, I'm listen. No, because they didn't give a fuck no, seriously, because they did not give a fuck about us killing children over there. Why do you think they should give a fuck about killing children over here? You're not safe. You will not be safe. No one is safe.
And that's that liberal like ideology, like way of thinking. When y'all saying stuff like that, don't hit me.
Not me. Listen, I've always supported you.
I loved Obama, so
I'd vote for him for a third term if I could.
I'm like, hey, and guess what his plan was? Guess what all their plans are? Iran was the main thing they were trying to get.
To be honest with you,
that's why they didn't hit his emails, expose all of that shit, and people like, oh my god, it's like, no, but that is fucked up because she had it right there.
Iran deserves this win. Mm-hmm. They have earned it.
It was only a matter of time.
And I know this sounds so fucked up coming from people who were like, aren't you American? I also have eyes. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, did you think that I was going to look at the way that America has raped the world and not think that the chickens were going to come home to roost? This is not in a bubble. You are finally just being able to feel all of the apocalypses that America has been creating across fucking time that we've been insulated from. Now, black people have not been insulated from a lot of the genocides that have gone on in this country. But unfortunately, us in majority think money will fix it. So we're like, hey, get money so we don't have to experience this constant genocide of not being able to drink clean water, Flint, Michigan, not being able to. Do you understand what I'm saying? We think that, oh, well, I'll just get money and I'll be able to achieve my way out of this particular trauma. So you can turn to Candace Owens? I'm done. I know that was a tirade. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That was so
we can't have like the crabs in the bucket mentality. We can't have to. Y'all need to decenter quote unquote money anyways. We need to decenter money. Yes, I said that. It must become unnecessary for y'all to get out of this shit, this illusion, because it's so fucking fragile.
Bro, I was talking to someone just this week. And they were talking about like, Shira 7, we just got to get money from niggas and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I understand where you're coming from, right? But at the end of the day, you are preaching plantation theory. What do you bring to the plantation that will be profitable? I know that sounds fucked up. I get that. And I can still say that and walk and chew gum and be like, I'm not upset you do that. Mm-hmm. I'm not upset you get money from these niggas, get it? But the reason why I can't, because I've been in a lot of situations where I could, but some of the reasons why I don't do stuff like that is because it needs to be a very clear boundary. I don't want this ever to kind of like, mesh over into a relationship. You need to know this is business type shit. Mm-hmm. And things get muddled. So I just don't execute. It's not because I think it's immoral or I think it's so fucking wrong. I honestly think to myself, like, me building community is kind of where I'm at right now. Exploiting rich men, I will leave to y'all. Please do so. Do it some more. But please know who you're exploiting. Make sure that they're rich as fuck. Don't do it to the nigga who making $90,000 a year and he got 3 kids. Like, go higher than that is all I'm asking for. Because that nigga will be broke and filing bankruptcy in 2 years. Do it to a millionaire. Let's aim higher is all I'm saying. Right. The rest of us normies, gonna have to leave it alone. At least for me.
Yeah. Because what does that say? They're using stuff from out of the ground to make you buy stuff from out of the ground. The stuff that you're using to pay for things is out of the ground. Everything's fucking out of the ground. That's kind of just where I'm at on this journey. Anyways, that's a sidetrack.
No, but it's okay. The only other thing that I wanted to say is that Israel is experiencing things that they've never experienced before. And all I can say is I hope you experience more of it. I hope the people who are on the side of the Palestinian people, I hope that you live long and prosperous lives. The rest of you, I hope you experience the worst of what this war has to offer. I have nothing else to say.
In order for humanity to exist, this settler colony in Israel has
Say
to
it.
go.
Say it.
The world.
The way the world needs to go, I'm sorry,
I'm
babe.
sorry.
This is the downfall. This is the downfall of Is Not Real.
Okay.
And I can't wait. Now, moving on to the next topic.
You guys are not real patriots.
That's
I
okay,
don't
baby.
Want to be a patriot for a genocidal state.
Sorry. So now we're going to talk about the Cuba fuel embargo. There has been a lot of people talking about some crazy shit about this. And I need people to understand. It was another conversation I had with a friend of mine. Like, this is a majority black country. Like, I don't know who you think you're standing against. Right? But anyway. Come on.
She's so pretty.
One of the headlines of some the conversations about people coming here to Cuba to deliver humanitarian aid are very interesting to me. One of the headlines of some of the commentary that I've seen is in terms of all of the people that came here and they stayed at a 4-star hotel while the rest of Cuba was in darkness. I want to remind you all that while it's not illegal for American citizens to come here to Cuba, it is absolutely illegal for us to stay in any of these hotels that you see on this screenshot. The second thing I saw was, oh, all of these influencers spent all of this money when they just could have given it to the Cuban people. How? Do you know that because of the blockade and the sanctions, that United States citizens cannot send money to
Yes. It's crazy. People don't realize all of that aid, we had to literally physically send it there. Someone had to physically put that aid in the hands of Cubans. One of the craziest pieces of misinformation was that kneecap guys like sucked up all the energy and killed Cubans in a hospital. The reason why the Cuban hospital ran out of energy is not because the fucking electricity grid is falling apart. I mean, that's part of it, but there's not enough gas on the island for their generators to work. That is our fault. America, we did that. Kneecap participated in one of the many daily festivals that happened during the day. That festival that they participated in had Cuban musicians that were also participating in it. It was free for all Cubans to attend, and it was overwhelmingly Cubans that were there. It blows my fucking mind that these people can be so cynical and so gross that they think that like regular everyday Cubans don't want to experience fucking joy.
This helps bring a lot of hope to the Cuban people.
Like, hello.
Yo. And also, let me go ahead and make sure we play the next video. Because I want people to have a full understanding before we start talking.
Boy, and honestly, I want to break some things. Guys, they're playing in your face when it comes to this Cuba trip and the misinformation around the Cuba convoy. And honestly, I want to break some things down for y'all because had I not been there to experience it myself, I probably have the same suspicions, questions, and stuff. But you gotta like stop and think about like how we landed, and then in day one there were already Washington Post, New York Times articles prepped about us. Okay, for example, one of the big talking points is like, oh, the champagne socialists staying in these places while the people there they couldn't. Why'd you go yourself instead of just sending money to Cuba? You can't. You're not allowed to send money to Cuba.
And I just want to go ahead and also pause and say, there's actually a personal friend I know who actually was sending money to, by the way, this is in the state, in Florida. She wanted to send money to her Cuban friend. So she sent money and she put the little Cuban flag in it to be cute. Do you know Cash App shut down her whole account until she could prove that the person she was sending money to actually lived in the state?
Wow.
That is when Cash App unlocked her account. And by the way, my love, that's not just Cash App. This is Wells Fargo. This is Chase. This is Bank of America. This is Citibank.
That is so fucked up. And
Corporations that run like your debit card.
What you were gonna say?
Oh, I was saying, I'm just glad that we brought up the anti-blackness of it all too.
Yes.
And we're not gonna pretend like all these years this is like that doesn't, you know.
No, and also, even when I talk about Citibank, I just learned recently the only reason Citibank is Citibank is because they actually took money from France that France got from Haitian people from their country because they were actually paying them because they were free and no longer giving them labor. They were paying them reparations for lack of labor because they were now an independent country. Go look it up. That's why I'm glad I stopped to hear what you had to say because like my God. That's the money from Citibank. When it comes to a lot of these large banks, we can actually track how much revenue they've gotten and go ahead and pinpoint it to slavery every single time. Chase, Bank of America, the big bank. This is why I say go to a credit union. Go to a credit union. Go to a credit union. All right. Sorry.
Charge all those things. They're not allowed to operate in Cuba. You can't send money there easily at all. You have to physically bring things. If you see videos of people packing on carry-ons that are full of like solar panels or ibuprofen or non-perishable food, it's because you have to physically go and bring things. You have to pull out cash and then get small bills to go to Cuba because they don't allow you to use the banking systems aren't allowed to operate there. On top of that, for example, the homie James Ray right now is doing a fundraiser because we found out that they're always short on PPE in hospitals in Cuba because they are not allowed to buy it directly, and it's also expensive to buy. And so we're doing like a mask fundraiser. He's already raised a lot of money. Here's his Venmo if you want to add to that, because it would only take like 40,000 masks to supply a hospital for an entire year. But here's the thing about that is like while we're getting these, lots of people are reaching out. Mask blocks, group like that are sending masks. We have to get those, organize all those masks to one location, get it down to Miami, and then talk to a foreign distributor, someone who's willing, you can pay per like kilo to ship things over there by boat, and then you have to have someone who's willing to pick it up because you can't just like, oh, here's the money, go buy masks. They can't. You have to organize. You have to physically bring the thing there and find the people who can bring it there and find the people who can pick it up. I was talking to a delegado, right, which was a friend I made with delegado. You can think of them like a community board member. It's an elected position. It doesn't pay money, but they fix things in the community. Almost like city council, they mostly just fix things, right? So like people were complaining, they had a consultario, which is like the local doctor, they covered a certain area, and the consultario was gonna have to shut down because they didn't have access to proper water because some of the pipes were fucked up. So he goes, he gets plumbers, people from his community, they go, he fixes the pipes so they still have a doctor in their neighborhood. And the thing he was talking to me about was that companies, if a certain amount of components are made within the US, like it reaches a certain threshold, like 10%, you're not allowed to sell to Cuba. So important medical supplies, ventilators, things like that, if 10% of the products, 10% of the components are connected to U.S. companies, are American made, Cubans can't buy them. So there's like already like a black market infrastructure just to get hospital supplies. And this is why they're playing in your face, dude. Like, I feel like I could rant about this for hours. You're not allowed, like, you can't just send things there. It's 90 miles off the coast of fucking Florida, and you have to go through a fucking loophole to get shit there. They're playing in your face when it comes to this Cuba trip and the misinformation around the Cuba convoy. And honestly, I want to break some things down for y'all because had I not been there to experience it myself, I probably have the same suspicions, questions, and stuff. But you gotta like stop and think about like how we landed, and then in day one, there were already Washington Post, New York Times articles prepped about us. Okay, for example, one of the big talking points is like, oh, the champagne socialists staying in these places while the people there they couldn't. Why'd you go yourself instead of just sending money to Cuba? You can't. You're not allowed to send money to Cuba. The corporations that run like your debit cards, your credit cards, all those things, they're not allowed to operate in Cuba. You can't send money there.
I was about to be like, wait, what? Okay, sorry. A little high. No, it's fine. We're good. We're good.
Shit.
Yeah, that's the that's the
I'm not gonna lie, because I know you saw me too. I'm like, because I was like, wait, did it see it already? Did I see it? Maybe I'm tripping. So I'm like, but I didn't want to say nothing because I was like,
because I'm like, maybe he was got some other stuff. Maybe he was repeating it again. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway,
that's fine.
So, hearing that, I need people to understand, especially when we talk about the Cuba embargo, when we talk about, oh gosh.
Okay, get another bottle.
Okay. I'm sorry, friend. My sister Mallory just walked in and she.
I wanted to do it to you guys on purpose. It's not even open.
Okay. No, just to explain.
I wanted to play a trick on you.
It's fine. We're gonna edit this part out anyway. But anyway, so
she said.
She said, "My God." what the fuck happened to the bottle of wine? It's fine. I'm going to cut this out. And what time are we at? 44, 43 minutes? Okay, I'll remember so I can cut this out. It's fine. But,
Because God forbid.
you know what I mean? No, so what I really want people to understand about the Cuba embargo, like in general, is the fact that we have been lied to a lot in reference to the history of Cuba. Now, this is going to be very, very, very controversial, especially if this ever gets to Florida. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to be honest. There's a reason why it was a lot of white Cubans that were coming over to Florida versus all of the black Cubans that stayed in Cuba. So I'm going to leave it there, and I want y'all to do your own research about what it was. Because Castro was not a good person. Let's make that very clear. But there's a lot more to what he did and what he said. Does that absolve him of the horrific things he does? Of course not. Jesus Christ, I'm a person.
Right.
But at the same time, there's still a much bigger, more nuanced story to tell when it comes to Cuban history.
Kind of like what Iran.
Especially, exactly like fucking Iran. So,
but we're also not going to pretend like anytime the U.S. intervenes in anything that it's a good outcome, because it never is. So
it never has
propaganda
been.
is so strong. That's why when we hear, oh my God, communist Cuba, what do you think that means? They're trying to tell you, paint that picture as.
Bro. Now, you know.
And we're also not going to pretend like sanctions are not deadly. When you hear the word sanctions, you just think, yes, they are killing these people.
Yeah.
Sanctions are deadly.
True.
Whether it's starving them, open air concentration, all these things.
It's very true. And one of the things that I feel like people don't kind of understand, I don't know if it's easy for them to just, I don't know, just kind of fly over certain things that in my mind that is not possible. Like, no, for real. I'm just like, that's not.
Myself in the,
oh,
I was drinking this like this.
You know what? I want to play this video because I think that it's important. So let me go ahead and just put it on there right quick because.
Thank goodness for the trim tool.
Right? No, thank God for the trim tool.
Because.
But I do want to say that. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, Cuba fuel embargo. The reason why that I want to play this video is because I really do think that it's important for us to talk about. And it is here.
Hotel. We stayed in one of the only 4 hotels that the U.S. government allows us to stay in, and they are all 4 or 5-star hotels. They have to, according to U.S. policy, be owned by a foreign company, and this one was owned by a Spanish company. So we were complying with.
Oh wait, let's start.
Why
did you guys go to Cuba, stay in a 4-star hotel?
We stayed in one of the only 4 hotels that the U.S. government allows us to stay in, and they are all 4 or 5-star hotels. They have to, according to U.S. policy, be owned by a foreign company, and this one was owned by a Spanish company. So we were complying with your laws by staying in that hotel. That's one thing we have. It's not our position to say what the government should be like. We were there during the Obama years when there was a flourishing of private enterprise.
What happened? What happened is socialism.
What happened is that Trump came in and put Cuba under terrorist.
Why did you guys go to prison?
You know what? I'm not allowed to go to the prisons here in the United States. I'm not allowed to go to prisons in any other countries. Don't be silly.
Under Biden, they ran electricity. That was Trump's fault. Biden was president for 4 years.
Under Obama, we had diplomacy, and that was
so
a win-win
situation.
Biden did absolutely the wrong thing. Absolutely the wrong thing. Senator Scott. The majority of people in the U.S. want to have good relations, not only with Cuba, but around the world. Really, sir. We are so tired of the U.S. trying to impose its will on other countries.
You don't care that people are starving. You don't care they don't have electricity. You don't care they don't have food. You don't
I
have
dedicated my life to stopping people from starving. And I started out in the Vietnam War being an anti-war activist. I only do the work I do because I care about
people. I think it's disgusting that you go support a communist regime that's destroying people's lives and people I know in prison and do nothing to get them out.
What we do is we go to bring medicines and solar panels and help people. Your policy is only hurting people.
So you support socialism?
I support people having the right to determine their own futures in the United States, in Cuba, in Iran, anywhere else. You know what? You want to focus on the small group in Florida that wants to strangle the Cuban people.
How about all the people in Cuba that don't have opportunity because of that government?
How about all the babies that are dying right now? Cuba used to have a better infant mortality rate than in the United States.
And guess what? They ended up with socialism. Do you know what socialism is?
Babies don't care about socialism. Babies care about healthcare, incubators.
No, if you look, why would you guys?
Okay.
She ate him up.
Ate him the fuck up. Okay. First of all, I have to say, I noticed you have beautiful lashes, friend. Oh
Do
my
I for
God.
real? Oh my God.
Like I almost got, I almost got distracted. I'm like, wait, we have things
Look,
I'm like, I have things to talk about. That's first. Anyway, secondly.
What's that Bambi meme?
Where they play the keys like this. Let me stop. No, that's first. But secondly, first of all, she ate that nigga the fuck up, and I'm so glad that she did, because especially when she said, babies don't care about, like, I'm bringing in medicines, and he's still trying to talk about this socialist, communist. I am a socialist. I am a communist. I'm still, and you know what's worse? I don't even know if I want to claim those things because I'm still reading up on them. I am still learning about it. But all I can say is, like, I agree with that more than I agree with anything else. Distributing the wealth. Like, okay, like for instance, when me and Aaron first moved in together, Aaron wasn't working. I was working. I was covering the bills. That wasn't a big deal. I didn't really think about it. Aaron's like, oh no, and I was like, nigga, shut up. So I was just like, let's eat. I'm gonna make mac and cheese. I ain't got time to talk about what the fuck is.
Real quick too. I said,
I said, you know what I'm saying?
That's the best thing. Like, oh my God.
And I was like, let me shut you up with some good food because I don't feel like hearing all your complaining about what the fuck I'm doing.
I said, oh.
Okay. And I'm telling you right now that the tables have turned, and I have not been working, but Aaron has been taking a brunt of the lot of the bills. And that was something I was feeling guilty about until Aaron was like, yo, you did it for me. Do you know how amazing it would be if the person who was making the most was covering the bills and the person who was making less was covering whatever else needed to be covered? Mm-hmm. Why? That seems...
That's so demonized now because that's what community is. So when y'all hear that word, it's like, oh my God, we can't do that because we need to start our own business. We need to be more entrepreneurs and...
another entrepreneur. Like, don't work for somebody. You have to work for yourself. No, and let me tell you something.
And it's like, you can do that and also not exploit people, which means that this capital that you're trying to build, you can't rely on that.
And listen,
let that go.
I understand fully. A lot of these jobs we're getting from white people, they're not going to last. So you're like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and be an entrepreneur. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of the times the way that it's framed, it's false, bro. It is. But
yeah.
Moving on.
Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Why do I have to start a business? Why is that? You should start you this.
I like knitting. Now you got to knit for everybody. You're just like, man, I can't have a hobby.
I know they got y'all real good, and y'all are NPCs to the system because that's what it's supposed to make y'all do is start an individualized ass business and only think for yourself.
Hustler mentality.
Yes, but I don't care about that shit. Just leave me alone. I just want to live.
And it feels like that, like just wanting that feels like so little to other people because they're like, well, why don't you want to start a business? Why don't you want to? Oh, you like to cook. Go ahead and make a cookbook and make sure you sell it on TikTok and start doing TikTok videos and reference. I'm like, nigga, what if I just like to cook for my family, bro? Like, what if that's just like, we live in an era where we have to monetize everything. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest. With the way the world is going, we're going to need people who are nurses, who are carpenters, who are electricians. I don't care about your influencers. That's not gonna be who makes it. You know what? I'm done.
Mind you, the American dollar is on a decline like no other.
Yeah.
And Iran said, bitch, actually, we'll take Chinese dollars. We don't even need the American. Like BRICS, I don't know if y'all heard of that. Mm-hmm. A lot of countries are coming up with their own currency system so that they won't have to rely on the US dollar.
It's true. It's true.
This is where we're at right now. We want to take control of that oil because we can get that. But as y'all can see, gas prices is all connected. So when y'all be like, I don't care about foreign policy, and that's what we got to worry about here. The imperial boomerang strikes again.
Especially this war that we have with Iran, and the fact that they control so much fuel and so much oil, oh my goodness, I don't feel like you realize what is about to happen. Yeah. A lot of these movies that we've been watching, I hope you've been taking fucking notes.
Yep.
That's really all I have to say. I hope that you've been taking notes.
That's why I'm like, y'all, money, Mr. Krabs. Baby, that shit ain't gonna matter soon.
To what your purses, your Birkins, your shoe, that's not going to mean anything. And it's all coming to a head. And in our lifetime, it's very strange. Like, I'm not here trying to, and I'm truly not even trying to be an alarmist, but we're just looking at patterns. Pattern recognition is a thing. It's all going terribly. And it's not, and I promise you, if we do not pay attention, we are going to be on the latter end of things. Anyway, Cesar Chavez. Okay. Yes, let's play the video. I'm so glad that I did this earlier.
I'm glad to learn about this.
No, for real. I think it's really, really, really important that we do. Oh. Okay.
I love this vibe too. Like
that respect in many ways. But if we're serious about honoring him and the people he fought for, we have to tell the whole story, not just the parts that make us comfortable. So, Cesar Chavez was a champion for farm workers. He led strikes and boycotts. He went on hunger strikes to protest violence and exploitation. He forced grocery stores and rich Americans to see the people who were picking their food. He won contracts that improved pay, banned pesticides, and demanded dignity for farm workers. And none of that is a lie. He did real, transformative work. He made invisible labor impossible to ignore. But here's the part they don't put on the posters. Chavez wasn't gentle. He wasn't some flawless saint. He was an organizer who demanded absolute loyalty. And if you question his authority, you are out. He purged some of his best, most radical organizers, all because he wanted control. He built the union in his vision, and he didn't want anyone changing that. And then there's his stance on undocumented workers. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable. Because Chavez saw undocumented migrants as a threat. He wasn't imagining it. Growers did use undocumented workers as strikebreakers to break union power. Economically, he understood the dynamic. But his response, it was harsh. It was ugly. So in the 1970s, Chavez and the United Farm Workers, they set up literal patrols on the Arizona-Mexico border. Union members in trucks, union money. They physically blocked migrants from crossing the desert. They weren't just patrolling for show. They were cooperating with INS, which stood for the Immigration and Naturalization Service. ICE before ICE. They were reporting people, handing them over for deportation. They called it protecting union jobs. They called it stopping strikebreakers, but let's be real. They were intercepting desperate people looking for work and helping them get deported. And Chavez wasn't hiding it. He testified before Congress in 1979 asking for stronger border enforcement. This wasn't behind closed doors. It was policy, it was strategy. He didn't see undocumented workers as fellow exploited laborers. He saw them as weapons used by growers to destroy the union. So he treated them like enemies. And after the union's big wins in the 1960s, it struggled. Growers mechanized crops so they didn't need as many pickers. They fought contracts in court. They replaced striking workers with undocumented labor. And Chavez's answer was to double down. Centralize, clamp down, refuse to adapt. And by the 1980s, the union was a shell of what it had been. And the fields, they were still full of exploited, underpaid workers, many of them undocumented. The very people that he'd once tried to keep out. But here's the hardest truth. Cesar Chavez wasn't a villain. He did some evil things, yeah. He was a man fighting a brutal system with brutal tools. Cesar Chavez was complex. I think we can all agree. He was brave, he was strategic, he was flawed. He lifted up thousands while shutting others out. So, if we really want to talk about him, I think we should be willing to tell the whole story. Because maybe the question we should be asking isn't, was he a hero? But what can we learn from everything that he got right and everything he got wrong? Cesar Chavez.
All right, and this one is unfortunately, this is the next one.
Can you open this?
Yeah.
Yes, baby. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Night in Can you tell me about that winter night in 1966 in Delano?
Well, I don't really like to revisit that, you know what I mean? I can just say that it was something unexpected, you know, that, you know, he said, we have to talk. I thought we were going to a meeting or something, you know, and no, it wasn't. He had other intentions, you know.
You said you were surprised at the brutality of it?
Well, I believe that when you do these kinds of actions against women, it is a violence, you know, and I think these are brutal acts, you know.
It had happened before in a hotel room. What do you remember about that?
Again, I don't really like to revisit that, you know. I prefer not to have to go through that again, you know. But again, it was uninvited, unexpected, you know.
It pains me to have to ask you this, but did Cesar Chavez rape you?
What one could, how shall I put it? You can name it what you name it, whatever, you know. But I think when you are forced into a situation of unwanted sex or whatever, that I think you could, you know, you could consider it rape.
And you didn't tell anyone. Why
No.
not? Why not?
You know, I've spent my entire life organizing for farm workers, okay? I didn't want to do anything, and I knew Cesar was probably the only person that I had ever met that could really do the job to organize workers. You know, I had worked with and for another organization before, the UFW, the actual Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee, okay? And then, you know, we had organized workers, and then it didn't make it. And that's what I left. I left the AWOC to start the UFW.
So you did not want to hurt the movement?
No, I mean, you know, there was so much. I mean, I knew in my heart that the only way that farm workers would ever get any kind of relief or what they were going through was to have a union.
Can you tell me about that?
So, that is Dolores Huerta, who is now talking about her assaults from Cesar Chavez. She has 2 sons from the from the rape of this man. Sons she had to hide. There's a lot more to the story that I want the viewers to go ahead and explore and really start looking into. I'll be honest with you. So when we talk about sexual assault and what is reported, 5%, sometimes less, is a lie. 95% are true. So when I stand with all victims, I know that I have a 5% chance of being wrong. That is a chance I will always be willing to take. I want to make that very, very clear. There was a video that I saw that I decided not to play. I was actually going to play it, but I'm like, why would I want our viewers to be subject to something so nasty and then bringing more people to her page? And like, I was just like, I didn't even want to deal with it. But it was a woman, a white Latin older woman who was talking about like, well, my assaults were real. And I went to the police immediately after it happened. Do you want a fucking cookie?
Oh, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see? Like,
because people are gonna see. See, why can't she be? She tells the truth. So ain't nothing wrong with you. Why you waited till now? She must want something.
That woman is 95 years old. What could she
like, what the
want?
Fuck do you think she could want? Also, have you seen the cap to the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, I am. It kills me as a person who has been a victim, who did not go to the police, because the first time I went to the police, I wasn't even raped. I was sexually assaulted. So there was no penetration, which, by the way, the fact that penetration is the only way that y'all define rape.
Y'all really do be telling on yourselves for real. Y'all are fucking scary. Danger, danger, right here is what y'all.
So little boys, because they get hard and a woman decides to go ahead and rape them, that's well, they weren't penetrated. What?
Y'all are so weird. What? Like what are we doing?
Oof.
That's why I'm like, y'all still want to keep bringing kids into this. But anyways, that's another conversation. Maybe we'll talk about that next.
You know what? The next episode, we actually will talk about that.
Yeah, the baby conversation.
Oh my God, because I am. It kills me.
The things I hear at work, I'm like, wow, y'all are really in y'all own little world.
It kills me because we didn't this is something that's happening, right? And like I said, I am going to always be on the side of victims. Dolores Huerta, I support everything that you were saying and trying to say. And do you see how careful she was trying to be with her words?
Yeah, because she knows how y'all are. She knows how the media can speak.
That sounds like a woman who's just trying to get them. I'm disgusted. I truly am. I'm disgusted.
And y'all wonder why I say the patriarchy has to be dismantled.
It has to.
Stop trying to reform it. Oh, well, he painted his nails. This is how. No, like, that's great. But also, we need to dissect, like, he can't do this without y'all being homophobic. So y'all are still trying to uphold it.
And you know what is worse? This is a story that obviously I didn't put in for the videos or what have you, but there was a French woman who in France was being sexually assaulted by not only her husband, but all of his friends. He would actually give her a sedative. And she actually had to watch the videos of her being assaulted by her husband and almost 51 other men. I'm sorry, my love. Do you know I didn't need camera footage to believe her? When Cassie came out, I did not need camera footage to believe her.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
So it's like the fact that some of y'all do, and then there's people out here saying that fucking camera footage is AI. Y'all hate women so, y'all hate black women especially, so fucking much.
It's true.
And then we'll turn around and say, well, these niggas ain't shit, but also I'm gonna stand behind them. And what does it do to make them mad? Y'all be running y'all mouth too much sometimes.
You did. That was you, baby. That was you.
And
That's
I'm
something
like,
that you
girl.
did. And you're just like, ma'am, what? I feel like people just don't understand how we are all being affected by rape culture. And when it comes to Cesar Chavez, that's the reason why I wanted to play the first video, so you know exactly what he did. Yes, he was trying to make things better for farmers, for farm workers. But he was not trying to make anything better for somebody who didn't have a green card. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't there for all people. And on top of that, he was also a sexual predator. Do you want me to lie to you? Damn.
Scary world.
No, it truly is. I didn't even realize that we've been on for an hour or so. So far. You know what I'm saying? So if you want,
we're in our flow state,
right? We can go ahead and make this the last topic and have these two be the next topics for the next show.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, perfect. All right, so last topic. Oh, child. Okay. Yeah, we'll just play the video. Yeah, it's a lot. It's gonna be a lot. I already know it's gonna be a lot, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really not. Because what?
I'm trying to hear what he's saying, though.
Oh my God! Please, for the love of Jesus.
This might be a bit controversial. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created, and I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy. This might be a bit controversial. I don't have anything.
Thoughts?
Misrepresented.
Oh, the way that he's been misrepresented.
So did we not see the video of him stomping that woman?
You know what? Honestly, I feel like maybe you hallucinated that, but I feel like we unfortunately hallucinated at the same time, which I didn't even know was possible. But maybe that's what happened.
Beating him while he's down, just like he did. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Oh. Thank you for saying that. Let's play the next video.
Yeah, and notice how. Y'all pissing me off.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Actually, yeah, that actually happened. I had a
It was this one time
There was a rumor. Did you ever scuffle with Puff before? Or was that just all rumor? No, that actually. That actually happened. I had a explain that. Nah, you know what? I damn near wish I could because it's such an ill story. Right. You know what I mean? But matter of fact, we did a podcast, me and Eve, like a year and a half ago, where we kind of ran through like the first part of my career up until Forest Hills Drive. Right. And we had a bonus episode that was the whole episode was just about that night. Okay. And that altercation, right? Because at that time, you know what I mean? Like me and Puff, like we hadn't had no problem for years. Even after that, like it was cleaned up quick and we was in a good spot. Right. But Puff was on the song that I had on off season, and like so we was gonna put it out, thinking like, yo, it's cool. Like enough time has passed, he ain't gonna feel no way. And then all this shit happened with him. Right. And I was just like, nah. It felt like
damn near like kicking a man when he's down. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, it would have gave the news and the world more ammo.
I got what you're saying.
Just destroy this dude.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time to put it out.
It wasn't a good time. So similarly right now, it's like, I want to tell it because it's ill, but I'm like, nah.
But it did happen.
Oh, no, it happened. It did happen, but the stories be wrong.
Okay.
The narratives around it be wrong.
Right, the
You know what I mean?
remixes is crazy.
The remixes is crazy. Like how shit be happening.
Right.
But the remixes is crazy.
Right. Because, you know, people will say it happened, didn't happen. I tell niggas all that, like...
Okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I'm over it. So, like, here's the thing about these, like...
Talk about it, friend.
Quote unquote conscious rappers, right? Ooh. Like your J.Cole's and your Jay-Z's and you know, they're out there and they're so dangerous because this is what Black excellence is supposed to look like, right?
Oh god.
Black entrepreneurship. These people in this industry look up to these people and they're saying these things.
They are?
And something that I've noticed that your J.Cole's, your Carishas, your just the celebrities just in general, they're gonna defend each other when it comes to the solidarity.
Yeah.
The celebrity.
Yeah. Celebrity solidarity. Not even class life.
Yeah, celebrity solidarity. They can't even say the word abuse, noticing in these they can't even say that word because it's so normalized to them. They're like, well,
they're just like, so you didn't take your licks the way I did? Because that's what it really feels like. It's like that's why they're on the side of like, I don't understand why anybody is talking about him in this way because it's like, hey, that is the rite of passage.
Yeah.
That is what you do to be great. Sometimes horrific things happen, but guess what? Look what I've got now.
It's so normalized that Rick Ross even said it out loud, like, hey, I can't have a girl under my label because I'm gonna have to sleep with them if they want to be under me, under my label. He said that on camera. And
you did say that on camera.
So normalized. Abuse is so normalized. That's why they're saying dumb shit like, oh, well, don't beat them while he's down. Because we're the craziest ones. Because we're the outsiders. We see what we're calling it for what it is. I don't know. It's just been driving me crazy when you think about it. Because like that is scary. That's some scary shit.
And tell me about Justin Bieber again.
Oh, so apparently there's this Oscars after party.
Beyonce had I don't know.
It was a gold party, and Usher was there. Lord. Usher tried to wave down Justin Bieber because you know Usher and Justin Bieber are supposed to be cool,
right? Supposed to be,
but not after what he just said, defending that man.
Nigga.
Justin Bieber looked at him and said, I'm going over here." And what got me is, why are we confused?
Yeah.
Justin Bieber has also been a victim.
Yeah, like regardless of the fact whether people say it or not say it, we're not stupid. When the expose finally comes out, I'm not even gonna come out and be like, I was right. I need you to make fucking sense. That's like saying somebody under R. Kelly didn't get touched. What? How?
They were playing singing some of that shit at work the other day. I was so mad.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Listen, there are some things that I can do, right? Lucky day. Maybe we found out he was a deadbeat. Shit happens. I'm going to still listen to the music. Once I find out you are raping children, I'm sorry, my love. There's just going to have to be a no. Sometimes you have to draw a line in the sand. Sometimes you actually have to pick a side.
And you're not going to gaslight me and make me feel bad for having a legit reaction to when I hear that man's music.
Thank you.
Why did you react like that? Y'all reaching. No, bitch, yes, I'm reaching for... Ooh, I almost said something.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Let me stop. Anyway. Had a moment.
Okay.
We still got to put this on YouTube. No. But no, I understand. This is what I really can't stand. Is the fact that there seems to be this undying loyalty that cannot be shaken. And I don't understand why. It's almost when I see Black Christians holding on to their Christianity with both hands, knowing that this was only literally slave masters who gave this religion to you. And I see the correlation between both of those things on a regular basis, and it makes me so frustrated. It's like when I see dark-skinned women cape for Chris Brown. I'm like, my love, it's like roaches for Raid. I don't get it.
It's the Trinity, the fucked up Trinity. You have the capitalism. We worship rich people. Worship celebrity. Then you have religion, worshiping your skydiving, who is a white supremacy, is okay with white supremacy.
Apparently.
And worship of shit. What was the third one? You just said it too. We was just talking about it.
Oh shit. I can't think about that right now.
Damn it.
Yeah, that happens.
I was eating.
Yeah, you was, and listen, and still ain't. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that we are all being led around by the nose by a lot of different structures that we don't want to admit is happening. And I promise you, you are falling for a certain type of structure when you can say with a clear conscience, I'm just listening to the music. I don't care what he did. My love, do you know that's meant? Do you know that you are literally taking the bait that they're giving you and then you make it sound like autonomy? I'm just doing what I want. My love.
That's why it won't surprise me when this man gets out in a few years.
And starts putting on concerts.
These same people who are saying this shit are going to go back to taking pictures with him again. And was just going to act like everything's normal again. That's if we make it that far, girl. But
no, you know what I was about to say we hope, and I'm like, that's not right. I don't hope. It's okay. Anyway, now Teyana Taylor. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna be really quick. I love Teyana Taylor. I think she's awesome, right? I don't know that lady for real, but I love what she does. Let me make that very clear. She was in One Battle After Another, a movie that I really don't think that I'm ever going to see. And her movie won, and they made it sound like this woman was like a gorilla in a china shop. No, I'm not even joking. They tried to make it sound like this woman was a Tasmanian devil. It's so fucking weird. Somebody bumps into her on the fucking red carpet. She turns around and she's like, that's very rude. Why would you put your hand on a female? That's nuts. What are you doing? And they're just like, oh, she's so ghetto. Okay, yo, go to hell. Go to hell. Go to hell. Go straight to fucking hell. Don't collect $200. Go to fucking hell.
What the fuck is y'all's problem?
I'm so sick of the anti-blackness when it comes to certain things. And the fact that I'm seeing black people say like, oh, well, she was acting a mess. The bitch was excited and being herself and you've got a problem? You're like she was happy that the movie that she was in won?
How dare she have a normal human reaction? How dare she? You know, the nerve of her.
Do you know if I was to go ahead and like, even though we don't care about awards and stuff, let's say, you know, I come out, I'm in a movie or whatever, and you know, Aaron right there, and I'm in a movie and I win something, and I jump on this nigga and this nigga fall. I'll be like, oh shit, it's okay. Let me get up. Am I supposed to? You know, but you see what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be like, oh, not the decorum, not the white people watching, not me acting too excited. I'm supposed to be happy, but not in the way that you deem happiness. Do you know how weird y'all sound?
You're basically saying out loud, I know that these people don't see me as fully human still, which means we're not allowed to have actual human emotions. So we can't react like that because we can't have our colonizers, our masters, get uncomfortable. Because we're still 3/5 of a human to their asses.
You've got to know how weird that sounds. And I'm
This
so
is why white people can't take us serious.
Oh my, why do you want to be taken seriously by your oppressor?
Like you should. Ooh, I can't say that.
Listen, all I have to say is, and just in closing, is that me and Aaron don't give a fuck about award shows. We know a lot of the shit is rigged. Sometimes they pass us a cookie every so often. We know that, especially as Black people, the people that we respect in the arts that we are into, those are the people that we give flowers to. Like Delroy Lindo, who was completely passed over. Let me tell you something. That man is so Black famous, he can walk into any room and feel the love that we have, the reverence we have for that man. Let me tell you something. That is a bigger award for him than any white accolade.
Period.
Let's make that very clear. That does not mean that if we're in your spaces and we're able to get one of the awards you decide to gift out, that you can go ahead and basically describe me as this aggressive, crazy Black woman because I'm smiling, happy, and excited to be there.
In that moment, just living in that moment. But how dare my Black ass, right? You Black bitch, you don't need to be reacting like that.
But you know what?
Have some
When
self-control.
Duran Bernard ran to go get their award when they were on stage, that wasn't a problem. But this Black woman who basically did another version of said shit
said, "Hey, I'm having a reaction because you bumped into me, you pushed me."
You know, bro, like
just like most people would do when something comes in contact with their body.
But when a person who is male presenting does it, it's them showing strength, and they shouldn't be and they shouldn't be messed with. When it comes to a Black woman doing some shit like that, they're like, "Yo, you don't know the rules by now?" All right.
Y'all are fucking annoying.
I tell you. But that was just in closing. All right. We're going to make sure to put another episode out next time Aaron is off. When's the next time you're off?
Yes, I'll be off Sunday. Tomorrow. Wait, what's today? Friday?
Nigga, what?
Today's Saturday. No, today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'll be off Sunday.
Okay, well, so we will go ahead and on Sunday we will be doing a live to come up with new topics for the next episode for the next time that Aaron is off. So we will go ahead and record at that particular time.
And then we'll probably have this one up like.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would say in the next 2 days I should have this episode up. But anyway, I just want to thank you for always coming to listen. I love the people who decide to jump into our lives. Shout out Allison. Shout out Jay is so cool. Anybody who shout out Issa. Everybody who continues to come to us regularly. I love you all so much. But just remember that being queer is African, and we gonna see you in the next one.
Bye, hoes.
Peace.